Out there, Tucson. This is Nathan. Welcome back to episode 5, moment before. Sorry, it's been a little hectic this week. Just got a new car, Dodge Charger RT, and I was supposed to put an episode on Monday, but you know what? We're going to change that just because of how life happens. So instead of just putting it out as one day, we're going to put an episode each week. So it'll just be a little hectic for the time being, but at least I can get an episode out. So I said I was going to bring on a guest this week, and I do have one actually. This week, this episode, we're going to be talking about auditions. So I have a friend of mine, Daniel Geffre. What's up, Matt? Say hello to the people.
Hi, everyone.
This is Daniel Geffre. He was actually a big part of SOL, which you can see the poster behind him right there. He was in charge of doing the media, and he actually got a great section of the newspaper for us. That's Yuri Machado right there. This was way back in 2011, but I've kept on to it. So, Daniel told me this earlier on this week that he went to his first audition. Now, you want to go ahead and explain to us what you did?
Yeah, basically, the guy that co-wrote SOL, Ian Whitaker, he told me about it months ago, prior to, and he was working on when the dates was going to be and all that, and finally it just happened. And he told me it was this past weekend. And I finally went.
I like Ian. He's good. He's funny. I actually, me and him were in the Suburban Rebels together. We didn't really have a chance to act together in the film, but that was fun. He was great, and that's well too.
Nice. Yeah, basically, it was kind of weird because I've never done auditions before, but I started doing more comedy acting with a little group that I created. And the more I did this, I thought, well, I'd like to try some acting.
What was the name of that group that you created?
It's Peanut Butter Hour.
That's right.
I've always wanted to do sketch comedy, and we just did a few sketches, and I enjoyed being in front of the camera, being with people. I thought this would be great to do.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to seeing a couple of those episodes. Have you released anything yet?
Not yet. We're still working on finding a graphic artist, which is really hard to find because we want something really solid, because I think this is a comedy group that could go on for several years, and we want something really solid to kind of represent us.
All right, so if somebody was interested in doing graphics and stuff like that, graphic artists and stuff like that,
yes,
how would they get in touch with you?
They can contact me through my Facebook page. I have a Peanut Butter Hour page. That's mainly the best way to contact me.
All right, so we'll put those links in the below section so you guys can click on them and try and get a hold of them. It's been ran with Authentic Productions, I'm assuming, right, Tim?
Yeah, initially, like, all my comedy stuff, I work with Authentic Productions primarily, but my little comedy production company, whatever you want to call it, is called Door Productions.
Okay.
So anything that falls under comedy related is the Door Productions, and so everything so far we've done with Peanut Butter Hour is in association with Authentic Productions, so they're sort of tied together in a way.
All right, so let's bring it back then. With the audition, where did you audition and what were you auditioning for?
It was Solar Express or Solar Energy, Solar Room, something like that, downtown on Toole Avenue.
Okay.
And it was a multiple. It was just several people. I mean, first time, and I don't even have just like single. It's just with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was, we went into this room, and I was kind of nervous. And looking at all these different art, and there was this one girl who was there, who's done it before. She's like, "Oh, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be a lot of fun." I'm like,
so what was the drive? Like, what was the project that you were auditioning for?
well, that's the thing. They were just sort of, I think, just seeing what we can do. It's all children. It's children's stage theater, and I think when it was all said and done, what they're mainly looking for is, how does this person stand out? How does this person react with other people? How is the collaboration? How does that effort? How do they see me in that sort of position?
So is this Stories that Soar?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Stories that Soar
Right.
was the name of the group, and that's basically all it was. They had all 30 of us. We were in the wrong building at first because I thought, oh, there's only a few people. This isn't really publicized. I wasn't as nervous. Like, oh, hey, we're in the wrong building. So I go into this other building. There's like 25 people in there, and I just became overwhelmed at that point. I'm like, oh my gosh.
A little bit of stage fright?
A little bit, yeah. I was a little nervous because I've never done really any major acting outside stuff that I've written on my own, and to have been with all these people that are stage.
So this was your first audition that you went to
ever.
But you've been on the other side of auditions. You've
yeah.
seen like Yuri and myself doing auditions for like Dead Night and SOL and stuff like that. So you've seen a little bit of that behind the scenes, right?
I've seen a little bit, and I've kind of noticed what to look for, but I've never been looked at. Like, is this person going to be in our group? And it was odd because
it's fun, isn't it?
It was a lot of fun. It really was. Like, at first I was kind of nervous because you always think everyone's looking at you, everyone's judging you, there's this big spotlight that's on you, but it's not.
Yeah.
As soon as you get rid of that, you start to loosen up a little bit, and then I started to really enjoy it. And about halfway through it, I started having a lot more fun as when I first got there.
That's awesome. So what did you do to prepare yourself for this?
Well, I'm still kind of learning that, and I think before I go to my next audition, I'm going to sort of like I need to work on some mind techniques, because I get nervous up to that point, but the only thing I really did was what I normally do whenever I get in front of people, is I pretend no one's there.
Okay.
So I tried to isolate myself as much as possible and try to pretend that the only people that are there are the few people that I'm actually working with. And that's how I tried to put myself in that position, and that's how I've succeeded in the most part, by being able to just pretend I'm alone and be as stupid as possible, allowing me to open up and be able to just be whatever it is.
You've been in front of people before, right? You've done stuff with laughs with Stephen Huffman, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't think Stephen Huffman's done stand-up comedy, but that's why any stage stuff I've ever done so far has been stand-up comedy. And every time, it's always been nerves leading up to it, but as soon as I get on stage, for some reason I forget.
Get that adrenaline rush.
Yeah, it's really thrilling. And that's why I wanted to do this so bad for stage. But I just pretend no one's there, and it doesn't work all the time. But when it does, that's when I seem to do my best.
Now, did they give you like a script to do something, or did you have to come prepared with
that's
a
the
monologue?
Thing. That's the thing. No, they had no monologue, just saying, be prepared to have fun, of course, and just nothing really prepared. They just said, be prepared to collaborate with other people, and they gave us stuff to work with once we were finally there. But that was pretty much it. Nothing to say, hey, show up with this, show up with that.
Okay. So it was very spontaneous then. You were throwing like a mixer with a bunch of people that had to come up with collaborative.
The whole thing completely flowed. They said, we're going to do warm-up exercises, which ended up being part of like, let's see how this person works. And then that led into, we're going to try this, we're going to split up, and it just kept going. So it started by just having simple warm-ups. Okay. But these warm-ups at the same time were to see how, it was also they're looking at us to see how we work with people. That led into group activities that led, to the next thing and so on.
Okay, so what's up in the future for you right now?
Well, for right now, I'm going to be wrapping up in a couple months here, the first season, as we're calling it, of Peanut Butter Hour.
How many episodes are you going to have?
Well, we're going to have a total of, I think, 5, and then we're working on a comedy pilot with me and the same Stephen Huffman, where we're going to basically have like a newscast, and we're going to kind of intertwine some of the sketches we've done within this same like comedy pilot. It's going to be like 20, 30 minutes or something like that. And then we're going to call a wraps for the rest of the year. And I'm going to start looking around for other auditions, start just seeing what's available, because I haven't really given it that much.
And you know about the Facebook groups, like the one we created, Independent Filmmakers of Tucson, Youth Arizona Actors, castings, and stuff like that?
Yeah, I haven't really gone into it that much, but now that I'm really interested in seeing what's available, I'm going to put a lot more effort, I think, into what people are posting, because there's a lot of groups, and I had no idea you're created independent Tucson or
it was like Independent Filmmakers of Tucson,
right?
The one that we created, and we got a lot of hits. There's a lot of people that are on there, and they post a lot of productions and stuff like that. And if you go on these groups, like I've said in a couple of different episodes, and you guys know this, you'll see that they'll say casting call, they'll list what they want and what they need, and you can get. It's like Facebook's become a great tool for independent filmmakers to reach out to a lot of people and just get a lot of people interested and stuff like that. So if you had to offer anybody any advice when they're going to go do an audition, what would you say?
You can't be over-prepared. You can't be over-prepared, and just have as much fun as possible. If you don't like it, don't bother going.
Yeah.
The whole point I wanted to go was I thought, wow, I'm going to be on stage, I'm going to be with all these people, I'm going to be doing... there's a high you get when you're in front of people, when you're doing what you love. Right. And it's hard to explain, but you can't be underprepared at all.
So if when you say prepared, get a good night's sleep or what?
Yeah, try to avoid partying the previous night if possible, but just I haven't taken any acting classes really. I think I have a natural talent for being able to act comedically.
Would you recommend people going to school for that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anytime, especially stage stuff, anyone I've ever talked to, when I was listening to them, when everyone introduce themselves, years of stuff they went in high school. I mean, even if it's simple stuff where you're just kind of watching off stage, do as much training techniques as possible, because the best actors make it look so simple, but really, when you try to do it, it's not as simple as you think.
All right, well, guys, thanks for tuning in this day. I want to thank Daniel for coming on.
Thank you for having me on.
And we'll post, comment, like as always, subscribe. We're going to have a couple more guests and stuff like that. And so have fun, guys. I'll see you next week. And Dan, you have a great time with Peanut Butter Hour. And we'll hear more about Authentic Productions in the future. Have a great weekend, guys. Take care. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, break a leg.